Well, good morning, crowd. I am at Sunflower, Arizona, tootling along here. Now, this is the biggest carry that I've had to do so far. So I'm carrying 6 days worth of food, and I'm going to do passages 22 through 25. So we leave Sunflower here, and we go over a bunch of mountains over there, and we end up at a place called Pine, Arizona. And pretty heavy batch of food to carry. I haven't carried 6 days worth of food for a while yet, probably since last summer. Last summer in the Sawtooths, I carried 7 days worth of food twice in the Sawtooths last year. So I've done it before, but I've never done the miles that we got to do. Today it's about, if you just include the mile I just did trying to get back on the trail, it's going to be about 15 miles up here to the first, or to the water source I'm going to stop at tonight. Now, by the way, we had, we got snow going on around here, a fair amount of it. Probably seen from some of the videos from the last chunk of videos that Granny did, that we were crossing snow up there in that Four Peaks wilderness. And we will almost certainly run into snow again in the next 6 days. Well, the terrain is pretty this morning. Pretty much entirely. I've been looking for an alligator site or an alligator juniper. I haven't seen one. All we got here is mostly just Arizona cypress and some cat claw. That nasty thing. Few, not very many cactus. Just them prickly pears. Got some madrone or manzanita growing right there. And we've got a few different kinds of agave, mostly just those little shin prickers they're called. So says my friend Wayne, shin prickers. You're talking shin prickers, or they'll prick your shins if you go for a walk in the middle of them guys. You deserve it. When it starts to get hot in Arizona, you don't want to be out in the desert. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You get fried to a crisp out there. And the truth is, we're just about past the desert here. Well, you can see this is the last of that water. Comes down this little crack. Right down to the bottom of that thing there. And you can see right there where the water was along the edge that was full a while ago, but now it's dried up. Only thing around here now is flies. Yep. A lot has gone on since my last little chunk there. Passage 22, I believe. Mount Pelee down there. A lot's gone on. I've been a couple of things happened that you don't know about. Number one is that I forgot to bring the charging cable for all my batteries, right? So I got all these batteries I'm carrying right here in this little deal. And I have this nice little camera right here for taking all the pictures we need to have. And what I don't have is the charging cable to charge all that stuff. And so I started out on a chunk there with 4 passages, really long, 6-day carry, right? And of course I forgot the charging cable, so I couldn't even charge up anything. Now fortunately I have this phone that has a really big battery, and I was already 14 miles in when I discovered that I didn't have that charging cable, and I did not want to walk out 14 and back in 14, and so I just basically said, hey, we're going to go to No Electronics and just save the battery that I do have in my phone for navigation, which I did do. I got through all of those chunks, right? And basically the place that I was at, let me see, I'll be able to show you here in a second probably, it was way over there. There's some big mountains, and I hiked over the tops of all of them and back and forth, and it was quite a challenge. Well, I'm not even going to explain it to you. It's a lot of ground got covered between here and there, lots and lots of ground. And so now, basically about 15 minutes ago, I left the truck, and I am at around mile 450. Okay, so we went, I don't even know how many miles it was. I was in the 400, or I was in the 300s when I left down there. And so now we're at 450. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna finish up. I got just a little bit of, I have just a little bit of the last passage left to do here. I finally ran out of my phone battery. When I got here, I was on the end of the 5th day, and I called Grandma and I said, hey, just come get me right here. We'll start here again when we start. Now, if you look way over there, right there, there's a mountain. I don't know if you can see it good or not. You might not be able to see it. Basically, we hiked all the way from way the heck on the other side of those mountains clear to here. From one place to another. Oh, look at that. There's a little bit of water in that cow tank over there. You love water when you're on the Arizona Trail, no matter how cow tanky it looks. Yeah, there's actually a fair bit in there. I don't need any, I just left the camper, but yeah. So anyway, that would have been passages 22, 23, 24, and this is 25, okay? Now, so I didn't have any batteries to take any film in 23 and 24, so nothing happened there. And that was too bad, but that's how it was. Too bad, but how it was. Nothing to do about that part. Anyway, so we're gonna finish up passage, what did I say, 25, I think I said. And I'm gonna go to Pine today. And it's about a 10-mile hike, more or less, starting at about 11 o'clock in the morning and heading out. Now, meanwhile, back at the camper, one of the things we did when I got pulled off the trail here is we went back to our place. It's over in southwestern Arizona, and I did a roofing job back there, did some other things, got some stuff done there. So I've been off the trail now for about a little over a week. And so I'm all recovered. My feet are all good again. My back's kind of recovered a little bit. And so off we go. Now, we are 450 miles into about a 788 mile hike, okay, close to 800. And so our expectation is that we are going to try to do 3-day chunks now. This one's actually a 4-dayer, but I'm going to try to do 3-day chunks. In about 8 days, I'll be in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is, you know, about 3/4 of the way through this thing, more or less. And then another 8 days, or more or less, I'll be at the Grand Canyon. Then we'll see what kind of man I am. My goodness gracious, look at this. Isn't that a good looking road? Wouldn't you like to drive your little 2-wheel drive car down through that thing? Yeah, this is the trail right now. This is the Arizona Trail. I think it is, come to think of it. I need to pay attention. I don't know. I think it is though. I think it's the Arizona Trail. Yeah, it could be that it follows those power lines. It's a thing I better probably check on. I'll be back with you in a second. All right. Yeah, I was on the trail. Well, in this passage, you know, the trail is not exactly well marked. It's it's well marked. Some places, lots of places, it's not well marked. Some places you're on roads. Some places you're just walking on rock piles, where literally you couldn't even make a trail. You know? I mean, the only way you would know you're on a trail is because somebody had stepped in the mud back there and then had stepped in a rock, and some of the rocks have mud on them. Now, one thing that goes on now here that makes it easy is that there has been a lot of mud here a few weeks ago, and some of the people that hiked ahead of me, they got so much mud on their shoes they had to scrape them on rocks. So there's lots of rocks here with mud scraped off on them. I'm glad I wasn't here when that happened. That would have been super hard work. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on here. What happened to me is I ran out of battery coming up over there, and because I was out of battery, I wasn't able to do the navigation that I want. I got lost once, managed to get back on track, and then was headed for water, but because I couldn't check my great gut hook app I have, I ended up going to a place where there wasn't any water, and then having to do without water for a little while. Fortunately, I ran into a nice young man in a Jeep who said, "Hey, you need some water?" I said, "Yes, please, give me some water." And so that took care of that problem pretty fast. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of why I ended up pulling off the trail. It's because I just was having trouble navigating because the trail was so sketch, and then obviously missing all the information that you really kind of need it this year, some kind of good information about where the water sources are, because this drought that's going on. You know, if you don't know where the water is, you could get thirsty, and thirsty's no fun. So I actually never got thirsty, by the way, but nonetheless, it's a thing to be thinking about. That's kind of where we're at. It's kind of what happened. Kind of explains to you why there are 2 whole passages with no film at all. Well, look at this. Highway, close to Pine. And you got to dodge traffic to stay alive to get to the trailhead over there. I'm pretty fast. I think I can do it. There we go. I think we made it. Yeah, Pine's down there. We're not going there tonight. I got all my stuff I need. Basically, it's right over there is the trailhead. So we're gonna go over there. I got all the water I need to be set up for tonight and tomorrow. So I'll probably be looking for some place to camp here pretty quick and call it a day. It's about a half a mile to the trailhead. Probably like to get a little farther from the highway, probably. Well, here we are, getting ready to go to bed. Show you the camp. Here we are. There you go. It's a little bit chilly out here. There's the tent. That thing zips down at the end, so all this stuff ends up covered underneath it there. And you can see right here. Can you see it over there? Yeah, you can see it. Making water over there out of some pretty dirty water. Now that the sun's shining through it, you can see how bad it is. Got that out of a cow pond, but it'll be good when I'm done with it. So it'll take a while. Takes a while to do it. But anyway, yep, this is where we are. Getting ready to go to bed. I'm actually on to the next passage. We'll talk about that tomorrow when we get on the trail, and that's all there is. Good night.